Welcome to the Straight Line. The last couple of days have been something which has shaken the world. The Russian aggression on Ukraine has something which rocked not just the two countries but the people of Europe and the rest of the world as well. In this edition of Straight Line, we talk to you about what is it that Russia wants from Ukraine and why is it that we are seeing this kind of aggressive stance where Russia has invaded Ukraine. Russia steadily has lost control over the way politics in Ukraine has taken shape. The last 8 years have seen emergence of Ukraine as a powerful country where a lot of people have migrated to, and the education and other standards have seen it grow. Interestingly, also the fact is that Ukraine today has considerable amount of gas and oil reserves, which make it a very strategic partner for the European countries which see the flow of gas through Ukraine. A reason why when we saw the aggression on 24th of February, this one thing was clear, that the world was worried about oil and gas and what would happen to the supplies, especially at the end of winter. Viktor, who was considered to be a puppet of the Russian government, was ousted by democratic forces, which ensured that as far as people of Ukraine wanted was some extent of democratic freedom, which they felt Viktor Yanukovych was not able to give. From 2014 to 2022, the emergence of Ukraine as a powerful country. Between 2014 and 2022, we've seen Ukraine emerge as a very strong country which had enough and more than enough alliances that came. As the Russian troops attacked Ukraine on 24th of February, warning that they would be attacking military and oil installations of Ukraine and not touch the civilian public, this was something which was seen by the rest of the world with bated breath. The kind of support that the NATO is offering now with Germany, UK and Sweden coming out with military assistance clearly indicates that this could be a long-drawn war and something that could restructure and reshape the way European and Russian relationships have been in the past. We have seen several deaths already, with Russia itself admitting that 4,300 of its soldiers had died in this conflict till Sunday morning, and that was something which was a very clear indicator that the human loss in this could be something far more bigger than what many had anticipated at the beginning of the war. And with the kind of threats that Putin has made about a nuclear escalation clearly indicates that this is something where the world needs to look at with close attention and an intervention which is needed sooner than expected. While the world today stands strongly with Ukraine and against Vladimir Putin and Russia seeking the stoppage of this war, but all eyes are also on India for the fact that India has not yet condemned this aggression aggressively. Though there was a conversation between Vladimir Putin and Narendra Modi on this matter where there was an appeal for peace that the Indian Prime Minister had made. But that seems to have not worked with the Russian President. The question now is, will India join the world and the global community in condemning this aggression? We have not seen that happen till now, even as the United Nations General Assembly met on Monday to discuss and condemn the Russian aggression of Ukraine. But the way India, which has a very good relationship with Russia, not just in business but militarily and scientific sharing of knowledge, clearly is in a fix where it cannot go against Russia very strongly. It's in public domain that India and Russia, who have a very strategic alliance right since independence, have lived together through several crises. And this time around also, India wants to leverage on the non-aligned strategy that had been seen during Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi's alliance. How the European Union and the United States take this stance of India will be measured with a long evaluation of the strategic business ties. But for the moment, India seems to be doing the right thing by not getting into the thick of things and also ensuring that it is not dragged into this war directly or indirectly by giving any kind of support or even moral support to either of the sides. The world saw in awestruck shock as Russian forces, after warning, said that they would attack the military installations of Ukraine. Though NATO's posturing and America's posturing a few days back seemed like they would go all out to support Ukraine, but in the first few days of the conflict, the support system seemed to be collapsing, and Ukraine found itself at alone with just moral support coming from the rest of the world. As Ukraine moved closer to the European countries and became a part ally of NATO and EU, one of the things that Russia could not digest was the fact that this buffer between a solid Western bloc and Russia was now becoming repeated reminders, low-key conflicts, and also the standoffs were something which have been very common in the last couple of years. But this full-scale invasion on 24th of February was a clear indicator that Russia could not take this conflict any longer. Many of us in India have been glued with the video reports emerging out of the Poland and Ukraine borders, where several Indian students have been stranded for the last couple of days. The video messages that they have sent out have evoked pain and a helplessness where everybody is looking for the government's assistance. This is something where Operation Ganga by the government of India has started off, and with several flights having already come in and many more yet to come. This is something where the families of these 18,000 odd students from India who were studying in Ukraine will heave a sigh of relief. It's not just the story of these 18,000 families, it's the fact that Indians connect strongly with these students who are suffering in misery. Apart from Air India, on Monday, the government also said that Indigo and SpiceJet would be carrying out special flights to ensure that these students are airlifted and brought back to their families in a safer way, something that every Indian has welcomed with open arms. One of the questions that many have asked also is the fact that why is it that there were 18,000 students in a country like Ukraine and all of them studying medicine? The fact remains that in Ukraine, which has one of the highest standards of medical education, the education there is far cheaper than studying in India. A MBBS degree there could be completed in 25 to 30 lakhs, whereas the same thing in the private quota in India would cost around 1 crore. That's the reason why we see more than 3,000 to 4,000 students go to Ukraine every year, apart from China, and study over there for their further medical studies. And many of them also take the privilege of using the visa to study further and do their specializations over there. This is as far as the story of the Indian students who were stranded in Ukraine, and we hope that they will be out of there soon with the help of the Ministry of External Affairs and the Government of India. As we join the world in watching these developments with a very close eye, prayers for peace are being seen in every corner of the world, as people are hoping that the war will come to an end and human tragedies will be averted. We at StraightLine will keep bringing you updates on this entire thing and hope that this war ends soon and the world is a better place to live. This is Vijay signing off for the Straight Line this week.